morning, students, once again, and welcome to the continuation of our classes on index number. We have just had an introduction to index numbers where we discussed the different kinds of index numbers in terms of whether they are weighted or whether they are unweighted. We equally looked at the aggregate price index and then the aggregate average price relatives. Now we want to look at the computational aspect of index number, where we have a real life example as pasted already on the board. And then the question of interest here is that we are going to use the question we have on the board to obtain the following. Number one, or number I, we are to obtain the price relatives. Obtain the price relatives. Price relatives. Obtain the price relatives. Then number II, we are going to talk about obtain the last pair's price index numbers. The last pairs in price index numbers. The last pair. The last pairs price index numbers. Okay? Then we are equally going to talk about, of course, the abbreviation of the price index last pair is what we call LPI. It's already in our previous class, so you can make reference to the introductory aspect of this class. Then number II, we are talking about the patches. The patches, price index number called PPI. Then we're equally going to talk about the IV. The IV, we are talking about what we call the Fisher's ideal. Fisher's ideal price index. The Fisher's ideal price index is always given as the FIPI. And then we're equally going to talk about the V, what we call the simple aggregate price index, written as SAPI. We are going to look at some of these things together with you. So you are going to permit us to begin the computation proper as a word of solution. And we are going to start from the first one. The first one is talking about the price relatives. So we have 4 commodities here. Commodities A down to what to D. We are making use of the base year 2016 here, which of course will be given to you the one that you are going to make reference to. Either the 2016 or the 2017. Okay? The 2019, sorry. 2019. Okay. Here, commodity A, the price of commodity A in 2016 is 2 naira. The quantity that 2 naira could buy in 2016 is 8 of them. Now, in 2019, that same commodity A, the price has become what? 4 naira. And the quantity it could buy that time is what? Is 6. The same thing applies to commodity B, C, and D. And in that our previous class, we already had given the formula for the price relatives. We said our price relatives is often denoted with what? PR. This is talking about price relative. And price relative is defined as, this is my solution. We are providing solution to the questions. The solution. Our price relative PR is given as what? P of n all over P of 0 multiplied by 1, 0, 0 all over 1. This is the formula. And we are talking about price relative of commodity A, price relative of commodity B, down to commodity what? D. So if I want to talk about price relative of commodity A, I will now talk about P of R subscript A. This thing stands for price relative of commodity A. This is going to be given as. I'll go and ask myself, what is the price of this commodity A in the given year? Our given year here is 2019, and the price of that commodity A is what is 4. So I have this into be what to be 4 all over. What is the price of that commodity A in the base year? Our base year is 2016. The price here is what is 2. I will say 4 all over 2 multiplied by 100 all over 1. Okay? So 2 will go into itself here, 1. It will go into 100 to give me what? 50. And then 4 multiplied by 50 will be able to give me 200%. Now, the concern here is, how do we interpret this price relative of commodity A, which have got to be what to be 200%? In our earlier class, we did say that the price index of any base year is taken to be 100%. Now we have computed the price relative now, and it is 200%. First of all, we are going to subtract that 100% that is always assigned to the base year. And if you subtract 100% from 200% now, you only have 100% worth left. And one will be able to say that the price of this commodity A has increased by 100 what percent. And even if you look at the what the thing stands here, what stands here that the price here is 2 naira. Now, if this 2 naira should increase by 100%, it means that it has increased by itself, which multiplies out now to be what? To be 4. That is the interpretation of this thing here. So the price relative of commodity A is 200%, telling us now that there is a 100% increase in that particular item. Now I have the price relative, so I have P of R subscript to what B. B is going to be given as. What is my price in the given year? 6. So I have what? 6 all over. What is the price in my given year? My base year? 5. Multiplied by 100 all over 1, which is 600 all over what? 5. Whatever thing you get this as a quotient now becomes what we call the price relative of commodity B. Then we now have P of R of C. What is the price in the given year? 5. What is the price in the base year? 4. So I have 5 all over 4 multiplied by 100 over 1, which amounts to 500 all over 4, all in percent. Okay? Then when I come to price of the D, commodity D, P of R of D will be given as, what's the price here? 2. What was the price the other place? It was just 2. So I have 2 all over 2 multiplied by 100 all over 1. And then when you do this, 2 into itself is 1, into 50, 100 is 50, which gives me 100%. You find out that this commodity B, D, its price did not change, because 100% was assigned to its price in the base year. And after computing the price relative, we still arrived at what? At 100%. And if you check here, it was why the price here is 2 naira in 2016, and the price still remains what? 2 naira in 2019. So this is the literal interpretation you can give to some of these things. So this is all about price relatives. So we are now going to clean the board and then begin to talk about the last pair, price index. So permit me to clean this side now about the price relative, which I want to believe is not difficult, while we go over to LPI, last pair's price index. So permit me to clean here. Okay, before we go over to or go into calculating the last pair's price index, LPI, it's good that we write the formula first, so that we know what we should be needing. The price there, the formula there says that LPI is given as sum over I of P of Ni or P of N Q of 0 all over sum of P of 0 Q of what? Of 0 multiplied by 1, 0, 0 over 1. This is the formula for last price index. And I want us to carefully look at the numerator. If you look at the numerator, you find out that we have the product of P of N and Q of 0, which is talking about price in the given year multiplied by the quantity in the base what year. So I will come to the table that is given to me and I will make a line this way and I will include what is called what? My P of N, Q of what? Of 0. So I ask ourselves, what is our P of N? P of N is talking about the price of the different commodities in the given year. Q of 0 is talking about the quantity of the commodities in the base year. This is my price in the given year. This is my quantities in the base year. So I will be using 8 to be multiplying this. I'll be using 10 to be multiplying this to be able to provide their answers this place. This is the quantity in the base year. This is the price in the given year. And when it was multiplied already, the values we have are these. So let us call it off from what we have. P of N, Q of 0. We had here to be 30 what? 2. We had here to be 60, we had here to be 70, and we had here to be 30 what? 8. I repeat, it implies that 8 multiplied by 4 is 32, 10 multiplied by 6 is 60, 14 multiplied by 5 is 70, and then 19 multiplied by 2 is 38. That one is gone. I equally want us to look at the denominator. If you look at the denominator here, you find out that we have P0, Q0. Price in the base year, quantity in the base year. So I'm going to have another column here. That column is talking about what? P of 0, Q of what? Of 0. Here is my price in the base year. Here is my quantity in the what? In the base year. So I should be talking about this multiplied by this. And 2 times 8 will equally give us what? 16. So let me call it off from what we already have here. This is 16. This is 50. This is 56. And then this is 38. That one is taken care of. So we now go ahead. Let us sum the whole of this, because this sum here is talking about summing the whole of this. When we sum the whole of this, what we had here was 200. When we sum the whole of this, what we had here was 160. So for us to calculate this last pair, this is now equals. The whole of this sum of P and Q0 has given me 200. So I have 200 all over. The sum of P0, Q0 has given me 160. So I have all over 160 times 100 all over 1. When you use this to multiply this, you arrive at 200,000 or 00 all over 160. When you divide this, the quotient you are going to get is 125%. You have 125%. So our last year's price index is 125%. How do we explain this? Remember that the base year is always assigned with 100%. You must subtract that 100% from this 125% before you can say anything. And when you subtract it now, you are left with 25%. What can you say about that 25%? Because it is a positive quantity, we now know that the price of these commodities have increased. But after we have subtracted 100 and then the answer turns out to be negative, we now know that the price of this commodity have equally decreased. And in this case, 125 minus 100 is 25, which is positive. So it means that the aggregate price of these commodities have increased by 25% when compared with the base year. That is the interpretation. You are not just going to say that it has increased by 25. No, it has increased by 25 when you compare it with the base year. That is what we can say about the LPI, the last year. So we are equally going to clean the board. When we clean the board, we now talk about the patches, which is the PPI. So permit me to clean this place. We talk about the PPI. So when we talk about the PPI, I have that PPI is given as sum of P of N of Q of N all over sum of what? P of 0 Q of N multiplied by 1 0 0 all over 1. This is the formula for purchase price index. So we look closely at the numerator, we find out that we have P, N, Q, N here. Talking about the prices in the given year, the quantities in the given year. So we must create a column to agree with that. So we come and add another column here. That column should be talking about our P of N, Q of what? N. And here is my price in the given year. Here is my quantity in the given year. So what I should be saying is 4 multiplied by 6, which gives me what? 24. Let me call up it now from what we have here. So we have 24, we have 30. 30 here is arrived at by saying 6 times 5. And then 5 times 10, we have 50. And then 2 times 13, we have 26. When we sum everything here, what we got was 130. Then we equally look at the denominator here. The denominator here says P0, Q0. So we are going to include a quantity, a column that is talking about the prices in the base year and the quantities in the given year. So I come here and I have what is called P0QN. This is my P0 price in the base year. These are my QN quantities in what in the given year. So it's going to be my 2 multiplied by 6, which gives me what? 12. So here becomes what? 12. Let me call it up already because I have it. Here is 12. Here is 25. Here is what? 40. Here is what? 26. When I summed all of them, I had 103. 103. So when I say therefore, this is equals. My numerator is already 130. So I have 130 all over. My denominator is already 103. I have 103 multiplied by 100 all over 1. This thing becomes 13000 all over 103. And when I got the quotient, the value was 126.2136%, which is very close to the value of the last pair, because the two values must always be almost very close, or if not the same thing, since they are measuring the same thing. The value we had earlier for the LPI was 125, and the value we are having here is 126 and fraction of that thing. So it means that the values are almost the same thing. This is now the PPI, the purchase price index. Explanation is just the same thing. If you want to explain it, subtract 100% from this, you are left with 26 point this. And you talk about aggregate increase in the price of what of the commodities is 25% on the increase when compared with the prices in the base year. So we now quickly talk about the LPI, the FIPI, the Fisher's Ideal Price Index. Fisher's Ideal Price Index. So permit me to clear here. Okay, the Fisher's Ideal Price Index, talking about FIPI, is given as square root of LPI multiplied by PPI. And you bear me witness that we earlier had solved and we got that LPI is 125 multiplied by, and then my PPI was 126.2136. When I multiply this out, the value I had was this. I had 15776.7. And when I took the square root, what I got was 125.6053%. This is the Fisher's ideal price index, which is actually gotten by the geometric product of the last pair and that of the patches. Interpretation still the same thing. And bear in mind that each time you compute the values of these three measures or indices, their values ought to be the same or very close. That should be guiding you on whether you are making mistakes or whether you are getting it right. So permit me now to clean the board and then tell you about our simple aggregate price index and then the simple average price relatives. Thank you for your audience. Okay, the formula we gave earlier about our simple aggregates, we call it simple aggregates price index. We said in acronym is written as SAPI. Okay? So when someone wants to find this, the formula is given as sum over I of P of Ni all over sum over I of P of 0I multiplied by 100 over 1. Do you remember from our previous class that this simple aggregate price index is unweighted price index? It doesn't have any weight. Okay? So what they are just going to do here is to come, NI here means the prices of the different commodities in the given year. You sum all of them. 0I here means the prices of the different commodities in the base year. You sum them. So what we are going to do is to come here. For us to obtain our sum of P subscript Ni, we sum all the prices what in the given year. And the summing them means 4 plus 6 is 10, plus 5 is 15, plus 2 is 17. So here is 17. I have 17 here. Here is 17. Okay? For me to get that of the base year, I'll come and sum this. 2 plus 5 will give me 7, plus 4 will give me 11, plus 2 will give me what? 13. So I have that here is 13. Then I have already known that the numerator here is 17 and the denominator here is 13. And this thing becomes what? 17 all over what? 13 multiplied by 100 all over 1. Which of course becomes what? 1700 all over what? 13. Whatever thing you get it now in percentage or in percent becomes what is called a simple aggregate price index. Okay? This simple aggregate price index is quite different from simple average price relatives, which is what I want to show now. So permit me to clean this board and show that one. When we talk about the simple average, simple average price relative, which we earlier said that the abbreviation of it is SAPI. It is given as sum, you open a bracket, you have P of Ni all over what? P of 0I multiplied by 100 all over capital N. Capital N is talking about the number of items involved. So if you want to compute this, it becomes You will be taking the ratio of the price in the given year to that in the base year. So for you to do that, you are going to open a bracket here. You start from the first commodity. The price in the given year is 4. The price in the base year is 2. So you have what we call 4/2 plus. You are over to commodity B, which is 6 here and 5. So you have 6/5 plus. The price here is 5. You have what? 5/4 plus. The price here is 2 and you have 2/2. You have 2/2. You close it. You are multiplying by 100, so multiply by 100 all over. The total commodity under discussion are 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 all over 4. So it is just for you now to evaluate this by looking out for the LCM of 2, 5, 4, and 2, which of course is what is 20. Use it now to simplify this numerator, multiply by 100 and divide by 4. And whatever value you get now is what we call the simple average price relatives. Thank you very much for your audience so far, and still remain tuned for our next classes that will be coming your way. Do not please forget to subscribe, like, and share our YouTube videos. Thank you for your audience once again. If you have worries or questions, raise your worries or questions in the comment sections. I tell you, once I come across them, I will be able to react back to you. Thank you very much.